Alright guys, so this is just a short video explaining how much weight you generally want to use when you're working out. And it'll actually clear it up a little bit for you when you're using the TMMT protocol that I put aside. Because, you know, I've always gotten people asking me, well, how much weight do I use, or what am I supposed to be doing, or how many repetitions, what should I be feeling, so to speak. Now, bottom line, you should be feeling intensity around 8 to 10 repetitions and then plus, right? But I'm gonna break it down for you like this a little bit more, because there's a number of things that you have to take into consideration, right? There's obviously your strength and then how much you can push. And what I mean by that is when you take any exercise, could be your bench press, it could be you doing biceps, it could be you doing, you know, squats. It doesn't matter what it is, any exercise for any body part, there's always a 1 rep max that you're gonna do. And what that means is there's a weight that you're gonna be able to take that you're only gonna be able to get 1 repetition with. That's your maximum, basically. That's your ultimate maximum, right? You wouldn't be able to do another repetition if you try. Now, the only way you're gonna know that, obviously, is if you test it out, right? But I'm breaking it down like this just so you can understand where I want you to be when you do the TMMT protocol when you're working out, okay? When you start to implement it. So your 1 rep max is going to be a weight that you can only do 1 time. Obviously, your form, when you do a weight like this, is going to falter a little bit because of how heavy it is. You don't want to be completely out of form when you do this, but if you sway a little bit, or if you basically aren't completely within perfect form, it's okay, because at the end of the day, it's really, really heavy, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, you are basically under your 1 rep max is like a strength set. So you would be getting a weight that would allow you to get to at least 4 repetitions with, to a maximum 6 to maximum 8 repetitions. So that's the general frame that you want to do. I typically like to stay within 4 to 6. If you go as high as 8, that's fine too. But just, you want to stay within 4 to 6/8 repetitions. And generally that's going to be around 70 to 80% of the weight of whatever your 1 rep max was, okay? So let's say you're doing bench press, okay? Just to make it simple for you to understand. And you're doing a bench press, and the maximum that you can lift, complete maximum for 1 rep max, is 100 pounds, right? Your 4 to 6/8 rep range should then be around 70 to 80 pounds, because that would be roughly 70 to 80% of what your 1 rep max is, okay? And again, these numbers are never gonna be exact, because you're playing with a number of different factors, such as like obviously your strength level, how much output you can give that day, if you're feeling a bit more tired that day, or if other day you're feeling more energized and you have more energy. Like there's a few different factors, so there's no complete set in one stone. This is just a generalized protocol that you can follow, but you still want to stay within that range, okay? What's going on, guys? I hope you're doing well and you're getting a lot of value from the course. I just wanted to take a second to let you know, if you wanted more of a direct and personal approach, then you can get on my app in order to do so. There's 2 options. One with a workout program that's already done for you over the course of 3 months. You can choose whether it's weight loss or muscle building. It has tasks that you're gonna need to complete, an area where you could do your nutrition and your macros, and a progressive overload plan that's gonna be changed every month to make sure you're always gonna be challenged. Or if you wanna work with me one-to-one, where I take over your nutrition, I look at your workout plan, I build you something that's specifically for you, that's gonna allow you to scale and get the results that you want, and also add in flexibility and mobility movements and exercises to help reduce the chances of you getting injured. Look over your nutrition and your macros to dial in what you should be eating, how many calories you should be intaking, and have accountability calls with you to make sure that you're staying on top of your game and results are always coming in. And scale that for you when needed. So if this is something that you want, either option, there's 2 links below. One that's gonna take you to the monthly plan, and then the other that's gonna take you to a Calendly link that's gonna book a call with me. Anyways, that's enough talking from me. Let's get back to the course. So that's a strength set. You stay within that rep range, and that's roughly the percentages that you wanna be at. Now, when you're doing above that, so when you're doing 8 to 12 plus repetitions, you want to generally be lifting around 50 to 60% of whatever your 1 rep max is, okay? So again, if it's bench press and you were doing 100 pounds, you're going to be pushing around 50 pounds or so because 50% is 50 pounds of 100 pounds for your bench press if that's what you were doing, okay? And that's roughly how you go about it. Doesn't mean that you may be able to push 60 pounds or do 55 pounds or maybe even a little more, for sure, 100%. But again, this is just a standard protocol to go by. It is absolutely no means necessary that this is exactly what you have to follow, but it's just something for you to go by, okay? Now, for the time being, for the techniques that I'm going to be showing you in the upcoming videos, right? You want to stay within that 50 to 60% rep range. That's what you are generally trying to do when you are going to do the TMMT protocol. And you're going to see it in the videos as well. It's going to be explained very easily to you so that you can see visually what I'm doing, and I'm going to be obviously explaining it to you in the video. But that's roughly where you want to be at. So you want to find a weight that you're going to utilize that is going to be within that rep range. Doesn't mean that you have to figure out what your one rep max is. No, it doesn't. You can ballpark it out. Again, you don't have to follow this 100%. It's just an idea and a direction to stay within and to take so that you know where to go, or you at least know what to look for and where to start. But that's roughly where you want to go by, right? So when I do bicep curls, I'll generally do around 35 to 30 pounds. Some days I'll do 25, you know what I mean? It depends on the day, but that's generally what I'll stick by if I'm going for repetition. If I'm doing very heavy, the most I can do per arm is 65 pounds, right? That's the absolute most I can do per each arm for one bicep curl that's gonna allow me to get one rep range. I actually can't do more than that, and I built up to that slowly over time. So I'll generally drop down to around like 30, 35 pounds for repetitions, and I generally float around there, just to give you another idea and concept. But this, I just want to make a quick video so that you understand what you need to basically go by and what you need to follow, so that again, you have some sort of direction on what weight you should be using. Play around with it. You still want to stay within those rep ranges when you're doing it, as you're going to see in the video. Anything between like 8 to 12 repetitions or even higher is better, because the more repetitions you do, the more tension you build, and the more tension you build, the more muscle fibers you tear, and the more growth over time as you repeatedly do it over and over and over, week after week, right? But if you hit around that 8 to 10 rep range and it's really burning and you want to put it down, that's fine too. It still means that you've torn the muscle. It still means that you're going to get growth. Over time, you can build some more progressive overload and then even add more repetitions to that. So 1 month, maybe you'll do 8 to 12 or 8 to 10, and then you add another couple of reps next month, or maybe in 2 weeks you do it, or 3 weeks, whatever the case is, you play with it with how you think you can advance and how strong you think you're getting, right? But nonetheless, that's what you essentially want to try and go by when you're looking to see what weight you should be doing and how many repetitions you should be going by. All right, guys, if any of you have any questions, put it out into the chat so somebody can answer you, or I'll answer you myself if I get a chance to. If you also feel like you have information that you can share to people that you think would help, put it out there for people to see. Again, we're all here to help each other out and to encourage one another and to push each other in a positive direction so that we can achieve the goals that we want and even go further from there. But until the next video, I will see you guys around.